but at the same time I was really, really happy to see Kevin smashing it over the ground outside the field. So it was wonderful again. So it's always great to have cricketers of this caliber who add that much needed color to the game. They're refreshing to watch. It's always a delight to watch them on field. So without much further ado, I'd like to call Kevin Pietersen to join me here for the Q&A. Thank you. Oh, mate. Yeah, no worries, mate. Here we are. So we're going to have a few questions, and then we're going to open the floor for questions to be asked at Kevin himself. Well, Kevin, tell us a bit more about your cricketing involvement in Dubai and the relationship with ANIB.
Well, I think cricket in this region is untouched. And since I've been coming here and playing here, we played those test matches a few years ago, played the one-day series after that, and then the IPL came to this part of the world for 5 or 6 games. I saw so much excitement and enthusiasm in the game here in this part of the world. When we decided and we got some space offered to us here in Dubai, I jumped at the opportunity. I think, having even watched the ANIB Reliable Trophy last night, the skill and the techniques and the talent on show just proves that there's so much cricketing talent here.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to nurture that, get better, get more involved. And clearly your guys' vision at ANIB is very similar to my vision of helping, producing, preparing and making sure that players have opportunities. And that's what I want to do in this part of the world. And I mean, ANIB and my academy seems to be the perfect match. So thank you to you guys. You guys are wonderful.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Tell us more about the KP24 Foundation and the motivation to start something like that.
Well, the motivation is easy. It's just personal experience that have happened to me. My best friend died of cancer, so we're supporting a cancer charity in the UK and underprivileged kids around the globe. I spend so much time battling in places like Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, South Africa, the Caribbean, Australia, and you get these net bowlers that come and bowl to you all day, every day. And sometimes your greatest competition on the tour is facing these guys in the nets.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know what they're going to do. Some guy comes in with a dodgy action and he knocks out the stumps. You start testing yourself against these guys. But because you're always in game mode, I've never really given them the time of day that they probably should deserve. Like, I'll compete against them, and then I'll say thanks, and I'll just walk off, whereas actually they want more of your time.
Yeah.
And so for me, my foundation wants to give back to those kinds of people who come and just give up all their time and kind of bowl to their heroes, and I want to give more time of mine back to them. And so the 24/7 project that's happening here in November is something that excites me. It's probably going to be one of the best weeks of my life. When we pull that off and get all those kids here, because it's a life-changing experience.
Right. So this is selecting kids from the underprivileged backgrounds from these countries that you mentioned, and bringing them over to Dubai and coaching them at the academy, as well as then at the end of it playing a tournament, is it?
That's absolutely right. And then we'll sponsor and give a scholarship to one child from each team in their country. And then 2 chaperones that look after them, who are bringing them here, obviously. Translate some of the information, because my very friend Richard's English isn't fantastic at the best of times. They're going to have to obviously translate stuff and take it back to their country. And then they'll have a role to play in the guidance. And having played cricket for so long, I'm in such a lucky position where I can put people in charge of different teams that I know I can trust to do the good work, and then obviously I trust my team to put on an amazing show.
Right, brilliant, thank you. It's a great initiative. And let's have a round of applause for the KP24 Foundation. Thank you. Well, I remember the last time I spoke to you, when I asked you whether you had a captain that you marveled at and wished you ever played under, right? You mentioned Steve Waugh. Right. So just as an extension of that question the last time, what are the qualities that you admired in Steve Waugh, the captain? What is that made you,
I think just the way that he played the game. I mean, Hansi Cronje was fairly similar.
Okay.
Michael Vaughan as well. Probably the best captain I played under.
Right.
They just have a way with people. They understand people and treat people the way that they should be treated. They understand that you're different to me, he's different to us. So you've got to get the best out of your team, the best out of your environment.
Yeah.
And these kind of guys did that.
Right.
It just shows maturity. It makes you feel respected, gives you a lot of confidence in your job.
Right.
And when you know your captain backs you and believes in you, then you can go places.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I think I asked you for a World 11 last time, KP's pick of 11 players. I'm not going to ask you to name the 11 players, but tell us which top 3 players probably you will not do without in your team. You cannot just go without picking them in your team. Top 3.
Goodness. Of all time or current?
Let's stick to current.
Current players.
Yeah.
AB de Villiers,
All right. Virat Kohli. All right.
And I should pick a bowler. Goodness. There's so many. Mitchell Johnson.
Mitchell Johnson. All right. There you go. The top 3 picks of Kevin Pietersen. Well, I've always been intrigued by this. From an off-spinner to a dashing batsman, right? Now, that is quite the transition. Was there someone behind the thought process, or was it just an amazing out-of-the-blue discovery? Suddenly you discovered that you could hit the ball miles. How did it happen, mate?
I don't know. And I'm not going to try and sit here and lie to anybody in this room and say, well, I did this, I did this, I did this. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I get asked I got asked in a press conference. And I said, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I just enjoyed batting. I got good at batting.
Okay.
And I think I enjoyed hitting spinners. I didn't enjoy being
hit. Oh.
So I took it to the spinners in a different way. And I think that's what made me focus a little bit more on my batting.
All right.
Do the hitting instead of being hit.
Being hit, yeah.
Because I wasn't a very good spin bowler.
Yeah. Pretty good reason, I would say. Well, the most memorable innings you've ever played, and why do you rate it so highly?
Again, I've been asked this a lot, and it's one which people would probably not agree with me.
Okay.
But for me, I know how tough it was to get this 100. The 100 I scored in Sri Lanka, in Colombo,
all right.
50 years out there.
Okay.
Because I never thought that I'd ever be able to get runs in that temperature.
Oh,
It was
okay.
45 degrees, 100% humidity, and I sweat on the best of times. I mean, it's quite fresh in here, I've got clammy hands. I went through 9 pairs of gloves and 4 shirts in a session and a half. I literally just knew that I had to try and slog every single ball and come close.
All right.
And I faced 140 balls, 150 balls, and just whacked it.
Oh, brilliant. Who was in the attack in the opposition? Do you remember any bowlers that you smashed them out of the park? Anybody can you remember from the Sri Lankan attack? Ranganahara, okay.
Dilshan, Randy,
Okay.
Ferreira,
All righty.
Lakmal,
Okay.
Delhara, or
All right.
somebody.
Okay. Brilliant.
That other guy.
Thank you. That says a lot why the innings is your favourite. You remember almost all the bowlers whom you hit out of the park.
I always remember the ones I hit.
All right. Whom would you pick to bat and bowl for your life?
Callis.
Callis.
Simple.
Both. Bat and bowl. Jack Callis.
Together, the combination Callis.
Yeah.
Bat, Callis, bowl. He is currently still playing.
Mm-hmm.
Bowling, jeez. I'm not so sure. I wouldn't say Mitchell Johnson's a bowl.
Yeah, that's what.
Bowling. He's not
Exactly.
a wicket taker.
Right.
And he intimidates.
Yeah.
Dale Steyn.
Dale Steyn.
Dale Steyn's a marvellous bowler.
Dale Steyn, absolutely, absolutely. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, that takes us to the next question. I suppose this you probably answered it already. The most fierce pace bowler you've ever faced? Why?
Fidel Edwards.
Fidel Edwards?
Yeah, I played a series in the Caribbean about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And Fidel Edwards did not bowl a single ball pitched up to me. In 5 Test matches.
So it was just all short stuff.
Single ball. Every ball. 6 weeks.
6
It
weeks.
was horrendous. And I played in the Caribbean with him now, so I was his teammate.
Oh, okay.
And he said, KB, my plan was never to get you out. My
Okay.
plan was to hurt you.
What did you do? What did you do? What did you say to him?
I got about 500 runs in every 100.
All right. There you go. That's good enough reason. Yeah, brilliant. All right. If you have to pick one batsman from the following list to hit a 6 off the last ball of a T20, whom would it be? Chris Gayle, A.B. de Villiers, Virat Kohli, Brendan McCullum, Karen Pollard.
Get Paul out of that list. De Villiers.
De Villiers. All right. Thank
The
you.
reason I say De Villiers is he hits 360.
Right.
Virat's very straight and
Yeah.
risky.
Yeah.
Gale, you know, you can bowl wide with some, so you bowl a York or you bowl a slow ball. It's just very one
Dimensional. Yeah. Okay.
De Villiers can hit you for 6 from there all the way to there.
Yeah, and he did hit Steyn for a couple of unbelievable sixes, didn't he? Yeah, yeah. Just smashed him, so unexpected. Yeah, brilliant. All right, well, let's take it a little bit away from cricket, shall we? All right. Between George Clooney and Pierce Brosnan, who is your pick to star SKP? Or do you have anybody else in mind?
Mate, I don't know.
No, if you had a choice.
If I had a choice,
Yeah.
George Clooney.
George Clooney. All right. Yeah. And yeah. And maybe Liam Hemsworth for the young version of Kevin Peterson. Liam Hemsworth.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry I said that. Oh goodness. Yeah.
Is he in this room?
No, he's not. Luckily for him. Great. Oh, all right. Is there a favorite movie of all time for you?
Ghost.
Ghost.
Yep.
Why?
Just such a cool movie, just such a cool romantic movie. Just, I really, really enjoyed that movie.
Okay. All right. All right. What is KP's fitness regime? How does he stay lean and healthy and in great shape?
Oh, goodness.
Any tips for budding cricketers? There are a few cricketers in the house. So is there any tips that you would like to give? How do you keep yourself fit and healthy?
And better Nick than me. And need to give me some advice. I spend a lot of time doing cardio work.
All right.
I don't touch weights.
All right.
I don't touch them. I tried them once
Okay.
and hated it. Got a bit too bulky.
All
I
right.
stretch a lot
Okay.
and I sit on a bicycle for an hour a day.
Okay.
Yeah. And
All
that's
right.
it. There's nothing to it. I eat well. I don't drink a lot unless I'm in Dubai.
Right. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. That's a good place to be when you're drinking. So, yeah.
Very good.
Brilliant. Good stuff. All right. As a batsman, I'm sure you would have had a bad patch where runs didn't come as freely and frequently as they used to be. So how does KP, the batsman, cope up with a run drought? How do you motivate yourself to get back into top form?
Oh, that's easy. It's just a case of understanding that you're not always going to perform and you're not always going to deliver. You're going to fail. And when you accept that and you understand that and you're just totally cool with it, you can deal with it.
So you
And
come.
I've done that throughout my career. I call it the cycle of life. I say,
Right.
you're good, you're good, you're good, you're bad, you're very bad, you're very good, and you're very good again, and you're very, very good, and you have the best time ever, then you have a horrendous patch. And so I understand it's life, business, family life, sports, everything. You have good days and you have bad days. When you start fighting against those bad days, and you don't accept it, and you really worry about it,
Brilliant, 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 brilliant.
then you have issues. But when you understand it and you accept it, you go, I'm cool with it. I'm going to make mistakes.
Right.
I'm going to fail.
Right.
but you never substitute the hard work that you do all the
Absolutely,
time.
absolutely.
And that never stops. So I'll always train and always do the right things. But I also understand that I'm going to fail. Failure is part of life. Deal with it.
Absolutely. Brilliant, brilliant answer, I would say. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. All right. In today's world of cricket, it's very rare to see a batsman walk, even though he knows he's out. Is this due to the hefty money component in today's tournaments, or has the gentleman slowly departed from the game? Why aren't
I don't
batsmen?
think it's a money thing.
Okay, but why aren't they walking?
If I nick the ball, I'm not thinking about money when I nick the ball.
Yeah, okay.
You're thinking about the state of the game.
All right.
Excuse me. And I'm a walker. If I nick the ball, I go.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen as frequently as it does, is it?
You know, but a lot of batsmen believe that the umpires get paid a lot of money to make decisions.
Okay. All right. Mr. Tariq Butt, that's for you.
And therefore, they need to make the best decisions.
All right.
Make the right decisions.
All right.
Also, batsmen live off the theory that things will even themselves out throughout their career.
Oh,
So that's how they look at it. They go, well, if I make this one, I got a bad decision last week. I wasn't out LBW. So
right.
if you're not going to give me that LBW, why should I walk? But I've always walked, genuinely. I've walked for some LBWs. In test matches.
In test matches.
You just cannot not give that out, so I might as well get off quicker.
Right. All right. Okay. What is your take on sledging? Is it a must-have in the evolution of cricket, or is it friendly banter gone overboard?
I think it's a must if you know that you can get into a player's mind and that you can destroy it mentally,
Okay.
which ends in you getting his wicket. But there's certain players that you just leave alone because they want their fight, they want the argument to come in.
Okay. So, but where do you draw the line in terms of when to start, when to stop?
Nothing personal. You don't get personal.
Okay.
You talk about techniques and what the media are saying.
Okay.
Get it in their head about.
Have you
bits and
ever?
pieces. Have I ever sledged?
Yeah, sledged.
I used to when I was younger.
All right. Did it work?
I lost a lot of interest in it.
Did it work? Did it work? You got batsmen out, did you?
No, I don't think so. I
No.
don't think so.
And did they ever sledge against you?
They did at the start of my career, but then I think they realised that it gets me going. And
They stopped it eventually.
Yeah. But then I go looking for a fight on the field because it was when I got that 350 in May this year. I was batting really badly at the
All right.
start of my innings, like
Okay.
really badly. And I was playing against an ex-teammate, a guy called Charlie Shrek.
Okay.
One of the nicest